Just back to school time. Hey, teach, do you have any answers to these questions? Well, do ya? This month on Henry's Film Corner, my guests are Don Cheadle and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
It's the first time I've read two scripts back to back that I said, I want to help get these made.
So I had to basically learn how to somehow find that in me somewhere and exude it through this character. It did scare me a lot.
Don't miss it. Today on a very special Henry's Film Corner, Philip Seymour Hoffman and Don Cheadle will be joining us, two of the best actors in the business. Also, I will inform you on how you can help put a stop to shitty entertainment. And I'll be listing a few great films to check out in the month of September. Folks, it's going to be a great show. Stick around. It's September, which means it's back to school time. And I'm sure while you're out on your summer vacation, you thought about a lot of things, and you have oh so many questions to ask your teacher. I know I do. Hey, teach, why did the White House stop calling the global war on terror the global war on terror and start calling it a global struggle against violent extremism? Are we done with calling terrorists terrorists and now supposed to call them violent extremists? Has anyone told the terrorists? Teacher, how come the White House press secretary calls the president's vacation ranch in Crawford, Texas, the Western White House, instead of calling it what it is? A place where Bush goes with alarming frequency while our finest Americans are getting blown to bits in Iraq. How come no one in the press corps has the balls to tell the president to stop fucking around and get back to work? Maybe he should handwrite a letter to the family of every man and woman in the military who comes back dead from Iraq or Afghanistan. Or will that interfere with his relaxation time? Teacher, why does the ACLU have a problem with some people's bags getting checked before they get on a subway car in New York City after dozens of people just lost their lives to bombing attacks on underground trains in London, England? Teacher, after I graduate, what country will I have to live in to work for an American company? Seems like if we keep outsourcing employment, there's going to be nothing left for me to do except be all I can be in the Army. Teacher, do you think any of the people who voted Bush into office for a second term, who now contribute to his appalling drop in customer satisfaction polls, will ever say, wow, I sure fucked that one up? Hey, you're the teacher, I'm the student. Do you have any answers to these questions? Well, do ya?
We can only save ourselves. Many of you know influential people abroad. You must call these people. You must tell them what will happen to us. Say goodbye. But when you say goodbye, say it as though you are reaching through the phone and holding their hand. Let them know that if they let go of that hand, you will die.
My first guest today is Don Cheadle, who recently followed up his commanding performance in Hotel Rwanda with yet another powerful role in the very successful indie film Crash. Don, thanks for being on my show, man. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
You must have a unique sense of pride in what you accomplished with Crash and Hotel Rwanda. They're both very well received. Your performances were great, and they both address really heavy issues.
It's the first time I've read two scripts back to back that I said, I want to help get these made. If I'm in them, if I'm not in them, it doesn't matter. I just want to be involved in any way that I can. And when I met Terry, who directed Hotel Rwanda, I said, you know, I want to do it, but if I can take meetings with you, if I can do whatever you want me to call Will Smith, you know, to get it made, because this movie has to be seen. This story has to be told. And it was the same thing with Crash. You know, I met Paul Haggis, the director, and I said, you know, any way I can help get this done, I'll play any part in it, and anything I could do, let me know. And he said, would you come on and help us produce it? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And thankfully it came together.
Right. As an actor, it must be really inspiring to get the opportunity, because a lot of times you're just getting great work and good for you, and we're going to be awesome and hold the gun right and drive fast. But it seems to me something like Hotel Rwanda or Crash would be like truly meaningful, where like you said, I don't have to be in the movie. I just got to help it get over the wall.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I just got back from Rwanda last week, and it was amazing to hear the response from the Rwandese about how that film kind of put that place on the map in a way that wasn't just about let's go see the gorillas in the mountains, but was about what was happening there. And they said they were just seeing it. They just saw a big change in the people that were traveling through there. Their interest in the history of that country was changed because of that film, And I said, do you really think it was directly because of that film? And they said, no question. You never anticipate that's going to happen.
Right.
So it was, I'm very happy for that fact.
Did the Rwanda experience change your life, your outlook on how you see everything?
It definitely changed my life. It made me really aware of, how much that we have, and that, any complaint you have just seems, you can't, it's hard to even voice it, when you're upset about whatever, the traffic or whatever the hell's going on, you can't really say it because you see these pictures of kids and you go, that kid is not alive anymore. I know that kid, he's dead. I know that kid's dead. I know this situation here has gotten worse than when I was there. You can't look at the world with the same eyes. And, just going to Africa to actually touch it and smell it and have your feet on the ground and look at this thing in the eye was life-altering.
I think if Americans went en masse to see some of this stuff, even for 2 days, like a short, sharp shock concept, came back to America, I think people would sober up and they would realize that they're kind of living large at the expense of someone.
That is, I think, the question is how to sensitize people who don't travel. And then it's not, where are you going to see it? On the news? They don't write about it. You don't hear about it on the radio. It's not in the newspaper. So you really have to go after that information. You have to try to find out what's happening, And I don't think we have a culture that's based on you going out to figure things out. We really kind of have a sit back, give it to me kind of a culture.
Absolutely.
It's to take it to films too. I think you see the same thing in movies when, you make these movies like Hotel Rwanda, and I think it was successful, but so many people are like, everything I have to do all week, I'm not trying to Friday night go deal with something that I have to bring my head and my heart to and just escape, just blow something up and have a cool fight and put a tight shirt on that girl and let me just, chill out. So I think that sort of mindset does go across all things, and it does make it difficult for people to not care, because you do care. It does move you, but you go, I'm trying to deal with my thing. I got a house note, I got the kids, I got the car. What do you want me to do?
Real stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have any hopeful or any optimistic thoughts for the plight of the continent?
Absolutely. People have started to, who have interest and who have means, have started to kind of put their money where their mouth is and do things. And it may be small steps, but I think all of those small steps combined can really have a real impact.
And it's obvious your concern is very real. Your commitment is complete. I've put my money where my mouth is a lot, and every once in a while someone goes, "Oh, you Hollywood people." I'm like, "Pal, I'm so not."
Yeah.
I don't know any of these people.
Yeah.
And it can make you angry when you're so passionate about something that is on fire, that does need to be addressed, and someone just tries to belittle it. Like, just shut up and drink the coffee. Just shut up and
look pretty and get in front of the thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's not me. That wasn't me before I started acting, so it's not going to be me now.
I just had to think, there's just some idiot out there, like, "Oh, you Hollywood people, you jump on a cause."
Oh, yeah. And do you know what? To me, it's like, so fucking what?
Yeah.
So what if you're getting a button by bringing attention to a place that needs attention brought to it? So what? I'd rather you do that than do something that has no merit or has no value,
Yeah, and if you get one person concerned, if you get one young person to go hit a website or read a book or just become aware that Africa is not a country, that there's countries in it, if you can do that much, then any of the resultant flack, I have to think it just...
Yeah, it really becomes a so what.
I applaud what you're doing. As an artist, you do great work, but the fact that you're shouldering all this too, I think it's really extraordinary.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Man, my pleasure.
And all that. I really think it's important what you're doing.
Thank you, Henry.
And now we check in with the old wise men for their thoughts on Hollywood.
One of my best friends was Fellini.
How did you get to meet him?
I sent a telegram to him and said, "Dear Mr. Fellini, my name is Paul Mazursky. I just made a picture called Bob and Carol, but it's not out yet, so you haven't seen it. But I'm about to make another picture, and I have a one-day part in it. I'll come to Rome and shoot the scene with you. Take 1 day. Please, Baba Baba." Sends me back a telegram saying, "Dear Mr. Mazursky, I don't know who you are. I never saw your picture, and I'm not an actor. Okay? My name is Fellini. I'm a director. P.S. If you ever come to Rome, call me." So I flew to Rome the next day.
Good for
God
you.
bless you.
Oh,
The next day I call him, and he did it.
Told
You
him.
talk like this. Paulino, you are finished now. Talk to me. I'll do your picture. What you are doing now? I said, well, I got 3 more days, Federico. I've never been to, this is 1968, 69. I said, I've never been to Venice. I've never been to Florence. Which one should I go to? I have 3 days. You want LSD or marijuana? So I said, I'll take LSD.
I'll take a hit on both.
He called Venice right away. I swear, it's a true story.
I want to make this point.
Don't get angry at me.
I'm not.
He's very
I
passionate.
want to make this point. I'd like to make this as my passion. I want to make this point. I did 2 movies. One was called Car Wash. And we did not have a star in that movie at all. And it was a studio movie. And then I did a movie called Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which everybody became a star, but there were no stars in that movie. My point was, stars don't make movies, guys. Movies make stars. And that's not how you can get a movie made today. They come in with the greatest script in the world. I just had a meeting the other day, said, you can't sell it. They can't get the money until you have
a name attached to it. Absolutely. That's what it's down to.
Names or
That's
four
right.
names.
There's no business like show business. There's no business, they say. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da. It's fun. I mean, I've had a great time. I'm sure you all have had great times. We're very lucky.
Absolutely.
So to the independent film
Hollywood.
channel, to Hollywood.
Yeah,
To each
right.
other.
And to each other.
Okay, guys. I gotta pee so badly.
Okay, well, I was thinking.
There's not a word or a sentence or a concept that you can illuminate for me. There is one singular reason I keep coming here.
Truman.
November 14th, 1959. 3 years ago. 3 years. And that's all I want to hear from you.
Joining me now is Philip Seymour Hoffman, who stars in the soon-to-be-released Capote, which captures the genius and complexity of writer Truman Capote during the research and construction of his true crime masterpiece, In Cold Blood. Philip, it's great to have you on the show, man.
It's great to be here.
So what was it about Truman Capote that made you want to take the role?
Well, I really didn't know at first. I mean, I've known the director and the writer since I was in high school, since I was a teenager, and they came to me with the script, and they said, you know, this is what it's about, and I read the screenplay, and then I read the biography, Joe Clark's biography, and then I was hooked. There was just something about that story of him trying to write that book and what it meant. It's just a human being going through that kind of period in their life, which is basically peaking, and almost the movie takes you up to where he's about to go back down the hill, you know, and it was just something about the aspect of that and the compromises that he had to make and the ambition and everything. It was just very powerful, you know, and I knew that if we succeeded with that in the film, that it would be more than just a film about Truman Capote. It would be more than just a film about some writer. It would be more than just a film about American crime. It would really be a film about the spirit of a person and how, as human beings, sometimes we lose it, you know, and that's, you know, pretty great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
This time around, you're a producer. You're also the lead in the film.
Right.
So that must have brought huge challenges you've never dealt with before.
Yeah, when you're just an actor, you're really buffered from a lot of what happens on a film, or in the business of it, or just the complexities of it, going over budget, going over what that means to the producers, what goes on behind the scenes. So I was just in on all those meetings for the first time. I had never taken part in that part of the filmmaking process, which is getting someone enthusiastic about what you want to do and getting them to believe in you and give you money and sending you off to make a movie. So I was the pitch man a lot of these meetings with the director, Bennett Miller, and the writer, Dan Futterman, and I would pitch this story and try to get, and finally, we got UA to sign on. Yeah.
So that must be satisfying.
It was incredibly satisfying. Yeah, it was. To be honest, it was incredibly satisfying to know as a producer that through Caroline, myself, Danny, and Bennett, that our need to want to make the film got somebody to believe in us. But then once somebody said, "Okay, you can make it," then we said, "No shit, now we got to make it."
Yeah.
It was like this big. There was a panic that ensued. All my fears and insecurities about playing the role all of a sudden started coming up, and Bennett realizing, now I got to make this story about this iconic figure. Then we really realized what it was going to take to make the thing sing. Yeah.
Truman Capote liked to be at every party talking about himself, being the light of the party, the center of attention.
Yeah.
And then he'd go run off and write this amazing stuff, short stories, essays, commentary. What kind of guy are you? Are you like Capote, or do you kind of get away from people to do your thing?
No, that's a great question, because that's kind of what scared the shit out of me about the whole thing to begin with, because I'm not like that. I'm not that comfortable. I'm not that comfortable walking into a room, a society setting, if it's a party or an event or whatever, and kind of holding court.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He did. That's pretty documented. It's pretty highly documented about people wanting him at their parties around the world. We're not just talking New York or LA. We're talking France or wherever else he was. And that petrified me because about playing the role, because I knew that would be an aspect that I'd have to project somehow and make it believable. And that part of me is one that I'm not nearly as confident about. So I had to basically learn how to somehow find that in me somewhere and exude it through this character somehow. I knew it had to be done, and I remember it did scare me a lot going into it. Yeah.
I'm a Truman Capote fan, and so when I heard it was you, I was happy because I knew the work would have integrity. I just hope everyone goes to see it, because there's just so much great stuff. And so you've been in a lot of films that I'm a huge fan of, like The Big Lebowski and Owning Mahoney, which you were great in, and Magnolia, films like that. And I have a lot of questions I could ask, but I want to talk to you about a very important documentary you made in 2000 called The Party's Over, where you went out on the campaign trail with the Democrats and the Republicans and filmed everything from both sides. And I want to know what you learned from that experience.
It just really opened me up, and it made me much more interested in what was going on, and from the bullshit to the real stuff, you just saw it all, and it's pretty amazing. When you get to sit in the room when a presidential debate's happening, which I got to do.
It's incredible.
Well, you see something that.
Yeah.
You just see something. I don't know how best to put it, but you just the drama around it, the media circus around it. It's just incredible, and the fact that you want to watch two people really get personal and go at it. Because when you're there live, you do when you're watching on TV, but you're like, wow, I wish these guys would just throw down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You really want them to.
Sure.
And you can see that they can't. That you know what I mean? They could, I guess, but somehow that's not what. And so there's a scripted element to it, and it's even stronger and more. You can see that even with more clarity. So having those experiences, now it's I watched every debate that happened this last. I couldn't. It was like I had to watch. You know what I mean? I had to see. Because my need to want to see something real happen between those two people that are going to run the most powerful country in the world, is great. And you just never really see it.
Right. And the thing that fascinated me, and I'm so glad that the documentary was balanced, that everybody insists they're right. The gun advocates demonize the left, and the left demonizes the right, and everyone in their mind is completely right. From the kids throwing rocks at cops to the cops knocking them down to everybody, you know, the intense Pat Robertson guys, everybody in their mind is right. I believe I'm right with all my political convictions. Sure. And Bill O'Reilly, who'd like to have my head on a pike, probably thinks I'm wrong about every single thing, and he's right about every. So.
And it's a real comfort to want to pick a side, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's a real comfort to want to look at something in a black and white fashion. And I really think the information, at least whenever I watch TV or I read certain periodicals or I listen to certain things on the radio, what's really happening is somehow it's like, how can I pick a side, right or wrong, black or white? And it's just like, life is not like that. It'll never be like that. And it's like, and I think that's part of the problem because people really want to do that. And so we're not struggling with the gray. I think it's just, what's happening is dividing, you know, right down the damn middle. Everyone's just over here, you know.
And a lot of times they vote for the people who are outsourcing their employment and legislating against them in a way.
That's right.
You know, so I really enjoyed that documentary. And so, so I'm glad you did it. I loved Capote. I thought your work in it was amazing.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see it again. And I hope everyone goes to see it. And I hope it turns them on to reading the great work of Truman Capote.
That'd be great.
You know, it'd be really great. So thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right. Here at Henry's Film Corner, we don't like to burden you with our charitable causes. Very rarely will we ask you for a donation or make you feel guilty for ignoring the homeless guy you almost always pass on the way to lunch. But once in a while, an organization comes around that is so meaningful, so gut-wrenching and powerful that we simply cannot ignore the movement. This, my friends, is the case with the HOPE organization. HOPE, or Horrified Observers of Pedestrian Entertainment, is a nationwide calling to stop the insidious crimes being perpetrated on the general public by the entertainment industry. HOPE's goal is to rid the world of substandard entertainment while demanding quality product. HOPE is changing lives every day with programs like the Ashley Simpson CD Exchange, where hundreds of mistreated children were given the opportunity to trade in their newly purchased Ashley Simpson CDs for actual music from bands like the Ramones and Ray Charles. HOPE is pleading for peace and justice. Like at the Paris Hilton book protest, where brave missionaries publicly challenged a trust-funded pseudo-celebrity's right to even publish an autobiography. And HOPE is bringing closure to those who simply could not be saved. Like at the 6-cab funeral organized in response to the Jimmy Fallon shitbox taxi. HOPE is moving people to make a difference all over the world, and their fervor is spreading like an STD at a Cabo spring break. From the streets of New York to the red carpet of the Academy Awards, HOPE is questioning our media, the choices they make, the product they push, and the people they choose to celebrate. Ask yourself what you are doing to better the world around you, and if the answer is nothing, and yet you find yourself watching this show, then maybe HOPE is the organization for you. Please visit them at hopeinamerica.com. Join the team. Get involved. Please, folks, act now. And talk with your kids about shitty entertainment. Because where there's hope, there's a way. Solid documentaries continue to find their way to theaters, and September is no exception. Independent film fans should be sure to check out Real Paradise, the newest documentary from director Steve James, who is best known for the critically acclaimed Hoop Dreams. Real Paradise follows indie film guru John Pearson as he uproots his family and moves to Fiji on a one-year mission to run the world's most remote movie theater. Also worth mentioning this month is the special edition DVD release of The Deer Hunter, starring Robert De Niro, Meryl Streep, and Christopher Walken. This Vietnam epic became an immediate classic after its 1978 release, and the DVD, which includes additional scenes and extended footage, is now in widescreen and Dolby Digital sound, which is how this film should be viewed. These are two films definitely worth checking out this month. Also, be sure to look for Capote in theaters beginning September 30th. And thank you again to my special guests, Philip Seymour Hoffman and Don Cheadle. As always, you can write to me at ifc.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.